salmon, shellfish, organ meat, salmon, shellfish, organ meat, veggies, veggies, all the veggies, eat the rainbow. Welcome to Real World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you implement the Autoimmune Protocol. I'm Stacy, and today I'm going to be doing a review and a giveaway of the Paleo Mom, Dr. Sarah Ballantyne's new book. Make sure to watch through to the end of the video because I'll tell you how you can win a copy of it. I don't know if you guys know this, but she came out with a new book on the Autoimmune Protocol this June 2019. It's the most up-to-date, definitive guide. It's got all the newest science about the microbiome, and it includes all the latest updates to the reintroduction process. There's information on gene variants that affect autoimmunity, like all this new stuff. So if you don't have any books on the Autoimmune Protocol, this is definitely the one to get. That's the really quick summary of my review. This is the one because it has a quick start guide, it has the recipes, it has like all that stuff. It's just the most up to date. So it's called the Autoimmune Protocol ebook. It's only available in a digital format. It's instant download. What I like about that is that she's going to keep it updated, and anytime there's an update to it, you'll get an email. So it's basically like the digital AIP Bible that will always be kept up to date. So let's dig in a little into the kind of the parts of it and what you'll find. All right, so it's got 5 parts. Part 1 is called Understanding Autoimmunity, and it's very much typical Sarah Ballantyne fashion where she gets into a lot of scientific explanations into the causes of autoimmunity, genetic predisposition, and environment versus factors you can control. And it's very empowering because even though genes do play a role and environment does play a role, we play a very large role in the outcome of our disease. We do have control over many aspects of it, and so that is empowering to know. She goes into, the gut barrier, the microbiome, dietary factors, nutrient deficiencies that affect autoimmunity. She puts a lot of emphasis on nutrient density throughout this whole ebook, which I think is awesome because I think that gets overlooked a lot. There's a lot of people out there doing AIP and they're not eating organ meat or shellfish. I don't know that you're really truly on the AIP as it was designed and meant. Like, you gotta have your nutrient dense foods. You gotta have either, your organ meats and your liver, or your shellfish and your fatty fish, and ideally both, like all the time, lots of it, and all the veggies. And anyway, she puts a ton of emphasis on that, which I love because, I saw one interview with Terry Wahls where she was saying, and I love her, but she was, who did the interview? It was done with, I'm going to put a link in the description below. I'm watching it, and she starts saying something about how AIP, Wahl's protocol is better because she addresses nutrient density.
I removed all grain, all dairy, all legumes. I was really following the AIP.
Yeah.
I did not get better. When I created the Wahl's protocol, which instead of focusing on what you can't have, I focused on what do I need to eat. So it's 2 components. Yes, you have to exclude some things, but you also have to be sure you're getting what your brain and your mitochondria need. And the AIP focused on what to exclude and did not focus on what to include.
And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? AIP is all about nutrient density, but maybe we didn't hammer that point home enough. So now with this new book, she is hammering that point home, and I love seeing that. It's awesome. Anyway, okay, so part 1, understanding autoimmunity. Part 2, the Autoimmune Protocol. What is it and how it works? So basically it works through 4 major ways: nutrient density, gut health, hormone regulation, and immune system regulation. I love that she recommends tracking your macros. I know not everybody has it in them to keep track of what they eat on a app like Chronometer and like weigh stuff and all, and that's totally fine, and you don't need to do that, but I don't know, I geek out on that stuff and I love it. I love it. I love tracking my macros. I love going, oh my goodness, I'm short on thiamine and iron lately, what can I do to increase that? Pork is loaded with thiamine. And then iron, mussels have both. Mussels are like a wonder food and they're so cheap. Shellfish. Anyway, yeah. And she advises that. I think that's awesome. She talks about becoming a nutrivore. Yes, nutrivore. I love that word. She stresses liver, shellfish, fatty fish, all the veggies, eat the rainbow. Also, what I like, there's a lot of misconceptions out there. If you read a lot, watch a lot of TV, whatever, you get so confused about stuff, you don't know what to do. It's like you wouldn't eat anything at all. She addresses some of these, like, oh, you know, some people are afraid to eat fish. They're afraid to eat fish because they're like, oh, what about mercury? Fish is loaded with mercury and toxins. Fish is bad. Yeah, like swordfish. I mean, like large predatory fish, tilefish. Yeah. King mackerel. Okay, there's some truth to that, but you eat the fish that are safe. There's lists of safer fish. There's lists of fish that are lower in mercury that are safe to eat. The little smaller fish, you know, the little mackerel, the, you know, smelt, freaking sardines, right? Or you eat the wild Alaskan salmon. You know, there's clean areas. There's ways to get clean seafood. It's so nutritious that even if you have to get the farmed, you're better off than not having it at all. But it's not all loaded with mercury and, you know, loaded with toxins. And she even goes into how the selenium in most seafood helps to not allow the mercury in it to be harmful to you. That gets sciencey, but it's interesting. And she does the same thing with liver. You know, oh my gosh, isn't liver full of toxins? No, it actually filters them out. They don't stay there. Liver's really healthy. Eat your liver. She addresses the fact that we shouldn't be afraid of carbs, just that we want, you know, slow burning carbs. She's not a fan of keto. She has tips to include more vegetables. They include hiding them in dessert. I've actually been, you know, experimenting with that, and I found that bitter greens, or, well, bitter leafy vegetables like dandelion greens or radicchio are great in anything chocolatey. So if you're making a carob AIP concoction and you want to throw a bunch of bitter dandelion leaves in there, you won't even know they're there. Chocolate pudding or anything like that, try it. It's cool. And of course, you know, it wouldn't be complete. What is Autoimmune Protocol without detailed lists of the yes foods and the no foods? And she goes into all that, so you're very clear on what you can and cannot eat. And she goes in depth on hidden sources of gluten, hidden sources of corn, hidden sources of dairy, and all the different names that sugar can fall under. Best bet is to just buy foods that don't have a label and cook it yourself. She also briefly touches on lifestyle, you know, sleep, stress, activity, connection, sun and we get to part 3, and I think this is the part that will be very helpful for most of you. Will be like part 3, and then the recipes I think will be like really what helps people new to AIP, well, and the yes and no foods list. But so part 3 is practical AIP, and there's a transition guide, and she's got 2 styles. So she's got the cold turkey method, and then there's an incremental implementation method. She's got a diagram, like kind of like my plate, you know, but how to construct an AIP plate if you're a visual learner. You know, there's meal ideas, cheap veggies that'll stretch your budget, restaurant and travel tips, pantry staples, fridge staples, freezer staples, and I have videos on all that too if you want to check out my baby steps to AIP. I'll link to that here. Then we go to part 4, re-intros, gray areas, and troubleshooting. Super useful. A lot of microbiome talk. How peas are such an innocent thing to reintroduce first in stage 1, and they're great for your microbiome. She goes into gluten cross reactions of dairy, A1 casein versus A2, help finding a practitioner, resources, and then part 5, meal plans and recipes. And there are some, I think she made this definitely like, she didn't get into anything kooky, like in her Paleo Approach cookbook, which I find very fun. I like some of the weird stuff. I'm probably not going to make it, but she didn't do that with this. She kept this to like, what would someone new on the protocol need to know? Like, so there's like one basic bone broth recipe, and you know, one basic, like whatever, just basics and not too much of that stuff. And then she's got some nice simple recipes on how to incorporate nutrient dense foods. I love that I'm seeing liver here and there and how to hide it. I love that I'm seeing multiple recipes for salmon. There's a recipe for clams. There's a lot of templates. I like the templates, like you do it yourself. It's not so rigid. It's not like fennel salad with pomegranate and blood orange vinaigrette. No, she's like, all right, and pick a lettuce, pick a freaking fruit to top it with, pick this, pick that, pick something crunchy, pick a dressing. She's got a bunch of dressings. Make your own kombucha, fermented sauerkraut, green tea, and garlic pickles. That is cool. And like I said, a bunch of basic salad dressings, basic spice blends. I think these are really useful. The AIP dinner rolls, they look amazing, and I'm very sad that I can't have cassava flour. I can't eat cassava. Oh yeah, dinner rolls and wraps. Got that covered. Clam chowder, breakfast sausage, meatloaf with liver in it. The 50 burgers. The burgers with the two options for broiled salmon and a nice parchment wrapped salmon. I like where she's going with that. Eat your salmon. Salmon is one of those things you need to be trying to eat on purpose. You know, salmon, shellfish, organ meat. Salmon, shellfish, organ meat. Veggies, all the veggies. Eat the rainbow. Hammer that home. People ask me, you know, what AIP books do I need? And I think in the end, this will be the one that I recommend from now on. How about that giveaway, huh? Starts today, Thursday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July, by the way. At noon. It starts today at noon, but it's not here on YouTube or Facebook. It's on Instagram. So I'm going to link below to my Instagram account. It's Real World AIP on Instagram. The winner will be picked at random. I will announce the winner Monday at noon. There you go. He's going to win a free copy of the Autoimmune Protocol ebook. By the way, if you're watching this on Facebook, because I do upload the same videos that I upload to YouTube onto Facebook, but you don't get all the fun links and stuff in the description section. And the other thing is, sometimes I put videos up on YouTube that I don't put on Facebook. I just do the Facebook thing once a week. So head on over to YouTube and subscribe just so you don't miss any, because I don't want my Facebook people to miss anything. And of course, I have exclusive recipes that I never put on YouTube that I put out as a thank you to my patrons once a month. Anyone who pledges $2 a month gets a free recipe, and I usually do like a personal life update too. And if you join Patreon for $2 this month, you're gonna get access to all the back recipes and videos too. So this month's was English muffins. They're not the same as that accidental tiger bread. This was an on-purpose recipe, different ingredients, different proportions, gotta make them. If you don't want to spend $2, you can also head over to Patreon anyway, because I post clips throughout the week of my grocery hauls. I buy at the grocery store, maybe what I'm working on in the kitchen and stuff like that. So something for everybody. Free, not free. And my battery's dying. I am tangenting. I'm going on a tangent. I hope to see you guys soon. Happy 4th of July. And yeah, be healthy.